Hey BookTube, this is Friday Reads. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and this is Jenny and she talks about regular books. And we are here in Phoenix getting ready to leave to go to Tucson and go to the Tucson Festival of Books. Yay! Yay! And we have all the books. We have so many books that we are going to get signed and we're so excited. So,
which author are you most looking forward to seeing?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Probably Kristen Simmons, I think, is who I want to see the most. And the reason for that is because she lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I don't live very far from there. So she's local to me. So.
I'm excited about seeing her too. I love her books. Yeah. They're all 5-star reads for me. I think I'm actually most excited to see The Astronaut.
Oh yes! Scott Kelly is going to be there.
Yes.
Yes, and we will get to him in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, seeing real astronauts in person.
Yeah, a real life person that's been to space.
Yes.
So cool. Okay, so what's the first book you read last week?
I guess the first one I read was The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I ended up giving this 3 stars, but I had to think about it a long time before I rated it. I almost rated it 2 stars. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I had hoped to, and that kind of made me sad. The first half of the book I was so into and loved it, and that's why I got 3 stars for me, because I feel like the first half I did really enjoy. The second half I almost DNF'd because it just kind of went off on a whole different thing in the middle there that I really didn't like. And then it turned and did something different for a little while, which I really enjoyed. But then the ending, it just was so depressing. And I feel like the writing style was just not something that I
Just
could
not
do.
quite there.
It was a lot of telling, not showing.
Oh yeah.
The opposite of what you want. I don't know. I just could not love it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Okay, so the first one I'm going to start with is Obsidio by Amie Kaufman and J. Kristoff. And this is the 3rd book in the Illuminae series. The first one is Illuminae, the second one is Gemina. Thank you. My brain is already at the festival. I got this as an ARC from Penguin Random House, and I was hopping up and down because
I would be too.
Yeah, Illuminae was my top book of about 2 years ago. And there are 30 narrators. So I'm just going to tell you who they are. Olivia Taylor Dudley, who was, I think she was Katie. And then Carla Corvo was Hannah. Jonathan McLean was Ezra, and he was my absolute favorite.
Oh.
I love that character so much because he has really grown from being, you know, this kid that broke up with his girlfriend to this pilot that is in charge of, you know, a whole fleet, and he's good. He's good at what he does. So he sounds kind of like a teenager and kind of mature, like circumstances have matured him. Lincoln Hop is the voice of Aiden, which is the computer that was crazy, and then it was crazy again. And I loved him. McLeod Andrews was Nick, and I loved him, really, seriously. That character,
so good in
yeah,
this.
It was a close call between him and Ezra, but I think I liked Ezra just a tiny bit better. Aaron Spencer, Andrew Iden, Lisa Cordeleone. She was the voice of, shoot. I can't remember her name, but she's such a great character, and it kills me that I can't remember her name. But Lisa Cordeleone, oh my gosh, this character is so funny, and Lisa Cordeleone is so great with comedy in dialogue, and so she was fabulous. Matthew Froh, Olivia Mackenzie Smith, Ryan Gazelle, Vikas Adam, Syle Birmingham, Mike Chamberlain, Theodore Chin, Charlotte Cole, Kimberly Farr, Kaleo Griffith, Hillary Huber, J.D. Jackson, David Jung or Young, Greta Young or Jung, Joshua Kane, Jolene Kim, David H. Lawrence the 17th. I wonder if that's a synonym. Nick Martorelli, Donatella Mortel, PJ Auckland, Ray Porter, who was fabulous. He plays a guy who's on the surface of Carenza, and he was so good. Ray Chappelle, Emily Wu Zeller, and then Dan Zitt. That's everybody. Wow. Oh my gosh.
What a cast.
And it was fabulous. I'm not even kidding. This audiobook is so good in its own way because you get sound effects, kind of like in Star Wars where you have fighters in space, all of that.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, and the sounds that it makes. So you get a lot of that. You get a little bit of music. You get like the actor, the voice actor is doing that dialogue. So you don't just get one point of view where one person is doing all of the dialogue from that point of view, and then you get another point of view and you get that narrator doing all of that dialogue. It's not like that. It's almost like a radio play. Fabulous. The story, oh my gosh, I had my doubts. I thought, how are they going to pull this off? Because Gemina and Illumine were pretty amazing.
They were.
So,
and I could not wait for this book to tie it all up together.
And it does.
I can't wait.
It does. You've got Aiden being, you know, insane again. You've got the rebels on the surface of Corenza that are fighting back against Baytek, who has come in and taken over. And the Baytek people are like soldiers. So you've got soldiers that are conflicted because they've been given carte blanche to deal with these people on the surface any way they like. And all of the people on the surface are starving. I mean, and they haven't, and this is a ice planet, essentially. So then you've got teenagers in space. And one of the things I really liked was one of the characters is not going to take orders from teenagers. And I thought that's so appropriate.
It is.
So appropriate.
Yes.
And you don't find that a lot. Mm-hmm. There were no special snowflakes. Everybody had a job. Everybody needed to do their job. And if they didn't do their part of the job, the whole thing was going to fall to pieces. And the whole thing was maybe going to fall to pieces anyway. Mm-hmm. So
these are such high stakes, constant action books. I just love these books so much.
And another thing about these books that is unique to them is that some of the characters get names from real people.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like two of the fighter pilots. I have a series that I haven't read yet called The Seeker series by Arwen Dayton. And it's so funny because one of the rebel pilots, or one of the Baytek pilots, is Arwen Seeker Dayton. And she has her character has a whole backstory, so you get a little of that. So it was really fun. And I think that they ran a promotion kind of with the book where if you pre-ordered the book and you gave them your name and you emailed them, Jay Kristoff said, we'll include your name in the book. Yeah, and it wouldn't be hard to do because thousands of people die. And I was afraid about who was going to die, but you know, very satisfying ending. Oh, amazing book. Amazing end to the series. You know, I would love for these two authors to go on and do something else. I loved Jonathan McLean. I thought he was amazing as Ezra. I loved McLeod Andrews. I loved Lisa Cordellione. The other two main Olivia Taylor-Dudley and Carla Corvo were also, everybody was pretty much amazing. And Lincoln Hopp as Aiden, that guy, I don't know how he did it, but he captured that so amazingly well. So yeah, 5 stars. Like,
yay!
Yeah. Did you kind of wonder what I was going to rate that?
I am so excited to hear you loved it. I have really high hopes for this.
Well, it comes out the 13th of March. And okay, so next book. What else did you read this week?
Okay. I read Everything I've Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This is one of the authors that will be at the festival, so I wanted to read one of her books before I went, so I knew what to talk about with her. And I really did love this. I rated this 4.5 stars. It's a very quick read. I flew through it. I think I read it in a couple hours. It's literary fiction. It's about this family. It starts right away. The 16-year-old daughter, who is the middle child, has died. They're not sure if it's an accident or a suicide or how, but she drowned in the lake that's right across the street from their house in the middle of the night. And so the book starts with them as a normal morning, and they can't find Lydia, and so they don't know what happened. So it's basically the story of this family.
I also read this and I listened to it, and it's narrated by Cassandra Campbell, and she is a very experienced narrator, really captured the whole book so really just so well. And you have a lot of perspectives. You have the mom and the dad who, we got a lot of history about not just their relationship, but their lives. And being in college in the 50s, you know, so this was a really good
This
look
is
at
also a mixed family. He is...
he's Chinese, I think.
He's Chinese.
It's a small town near Toledo, a small college town, because he's a professor.
Yep. Takes place
in the 70s.
Actually, this is really funny. It starts out, Lydia is dead, but they don't know this yet. 1977, May 3rd, 6:30 in the morning. My birthday is May 5th, 1977.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that
I was getting ready to graduate from high school in 1977.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That really caught my attention right away.
A lot of the references in there I thought were too late. I thought that didn't happen in the 70s. That was like the early 80s. So I don't know. This is a debut novel, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. I didn't like it quite as much as you.
I really enjoyed the writing. I think that was my favorite part.
Same.
I thought that she did such a fabulous job. The opposite of The Magicians, where she showed and didn't tell.
Yeah.
Like it.
That even kind of bugged me a tiny bit, just like an iota. Just a tiny, tiny bit, because I don't like being held in suspense.
Oh,
you know,
I like
for
that.
too long. I want it to move along. Now it did move along. I thought
it was. I wasn't bored.
No.
It was a nice slow reveal. Like you do find out what happens. It was told with a very cold detachment. I felt like. But you still completely understood what the characters are going through, what they felt. It was just a really interesting story about this family.
It really was. I liked the fact that it handled the themes of racism and just racial bias against biracial people. And not just that, but the expectation of having, wanting your children to achieve far more than what you've achieved because of the choices that you've made in your life. Not really the concessions as much as realizing these are the choices that you made, and they seem like good ideas at the time, but you know,
you wanted more for your life, and so you want your children to have more. And
losing sight of that, losing sight of, you know, this is your child's life, not your life.
And their individuality and what they want. And I really thought that was really well done in this. My biggest gripe I feel about this book, the ending I felt was just a little too neat.
I felt the same way. There was, I think, one sentence where they said, well, they knew that things were okay for now, and it was going to take a lot of work to get it to where it was really fine. Felt like one sentence. It wasn't. You didn't emotionally feel like it left you.
I mean, they've lost a child.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something you get over like that.
No.
I mean.
No, and it was a good look at that, especially with regard to a marriage and parents who have lost a child. So.
But I feel like a lot of what the parents went through, like their experiences, is very realistic to what a lot of couples go through when they lose a child. So I enjoyed it. Really good book. Can't wait to meet the author, and I can't wait to read her new book too.
Yeah, looking forward to that, which is Little Fires Everywhere, and I will probably be picking that up too. Okay, next book. Since we both read that one, you're up.
Okay, all right. So this is a book I'm currently reading, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is the Outcrate edition. I get Outcrate, so the special green cover with, that is gorgeous. This book is beautiful. Oh, I have to show it off. It has that soft, buttery touch to it. Yeah. And then the end papers are gorgeous. And we've got the naked hardback. It's gray underneath. It has a little icon of the Flatiron Building. I don't know if you can see that very well. It might be hard to see on camera. Yeah. But, it's such a beautiful book. So I just started this. I'm not very far in. I'm on page 33. I'm on chapter 4.
So this is a fairy tale?
Yeah, so this is kind of it's almost kind of magical realism too. Oh. So this is about a girl and her mother who are drifters. Bad luck follows them wherever they go. Bad things happen if they stay in any one place too long. So they just go all over the country, and so far I really like this. I like the setup, so hopefully it'll be a good read.
Yeah, good. Okay, I have 2 more books to tell you about. One is Words in Deep Blue by Cath Crowley. This I had to read on my iPad because it's not out on audio. And it is written by an Australian author, so that was kind of interesting because it's set in it's YA contemporary, so you have teenagers. And everything was just a little bit different for me, you know, because I'm an American. But one of my best friends is Australian. So it was just really interesting. It has to do with a girl who lost her brother and how she deals with the grief and learning how to move on with her life, really, with the friends and all that kind of thing. So good writing. I really liked it. I think I will be interested in reading more from Cath Crowley.
Good.
So yeah, good YA contemporary. I think I gave it 4 stars.
That is on my TBR, so I'm glad to hear you liked it.
Yeah, yeah. The cover is funny. It looks like tile in a bathroom.
Yeah,
that's books.
Oh,
It's actual books. Yeah, because her best friend, his family owns a bookstore. So, and, well, I'll let you. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a really cool thing about this bookstore. So, yeah,
Cool.
read the book. You'll get it.
Awesome.
And the last book I read was Getting Schooled by Emma Chase. Yes, Beth, I did pick it up. Beth Nieper is one of my Goodreads friends and also a subscriber. So she said, did you get it yet? It just came out. So it's by Emma Chase, and it's narrated by Zachary Weber and Andi Arndt. And of course, I am a broken record about Zachary Weber and Andi Arndt. They're two of probably my most favorite narrators. It was great. Now this, I thought was really interesting because it wasn't your hate to love or second chance. It probably is a bit of a second chance romance, but the interesting thing was there was no major conflict that everything built up to and then resolved.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was kind of a bit of a slow burn, but you pretty much knew they were going to end up together because, of course, happy ending. But the way it got there was really interesting, and I thought I need to read more of Emma Chase for that reason. A lot of times with this kind of book, what will happen is that you get bored. You think, you get to the end and you think, meh, because nothing big happened. You know, there was no big angsty conflict. Not so here. It was really, really good. I really liked it. It's adult romance, I would call it. I wouldn't call it new adult. I'd call it adult.
All right, the last book I'm talking about is Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr, another author that will be at the festival. So I've heard great things about Melissa Marr. I have so many of her books, and I've never read any of them.
And this is YA
This
paranormal?
is YA paranormal. It's a fairies. This is a 5-book series, I believe. I have all of them. So this is the first book in the series. I'm about halfway through it, and I'm really liking it. I've heard really good things about this series. That it's a little cliched YA, but it's actually really entertaining. And I would agree, it has some interesting concepts about fairies in here that's a little different. And so I'm really enjoying this. So yeah,
good. I have 2 things going. One is Endurance by Scott Kelly. Now I picked this up because he's going to be at the festival. Actually, fascinating book. Fascinating book because you tend to think of astronauts as these people that are I don't know, kind of like your teacher in elementary school, and this is like running into the teacher at the grocery store. It's a real person, a real person with real problems and a real life that goes on beyond his job because it's really his job.
Yeah, it's hard for us to grasp it. This is what they do for a living. This isn't
this is not them.
Yeah.
So it details it's his autobiography. Oh my gosh, so good, so good. So full of a lot more of the personal side rather than the science side. But he does talk about some of the science and why he's in space and the International Space Station and who's gone up there, who's been up there, how it works, why they do the experiments that they do. It's really fascinating. And I didn't realize a lot of the stuff they do is so that they can develop medical procedures here that will help various diseases that we have. So that is amazing. He is narrating, and you know what I always say about authors narrating their own books, unless it's a memoir, and this is just really, really well done. And the other book I'm listening to is Most Likely to Score by Lauren Blakely. This is book 2 in that series that I can't remember the name of, that I'm going to put here on the screen. Again, Zachary Weber and Andi Arndt. What else do I need to say about these two? I love them. So it's just adult romance. It's sports romance. It's football. And I love it. you know, I always love it. So I am not getting a whole lot of time to read or listen either one, actually.
Right now,
which
we're
is
pretty
interesting.
busy.
Yeah, we're not really, as readers, you know, you'd think we would do some of that, getting all together. But what we're doing is talking about books because it's
Gabbing,
like
gabbing,
I have
gabbing.
found my people. So yeah, so
We found our tribe.
we really have. We truly have. So, like I always say, if you have read any of these books, please let us know. Let me know. And talk about that in comments. And
I'll talk with you too.
Yeah.
I'm always following her stuff.
Yeah, so she'll comment too. So if you see that, that's why. So that's it for now for me and you. And we're off to the Tucson Book Festival. Actually, we're going to go to the Scottsdale Arts Festival today. Karen and I did that last year, and we're at Karen's house. These are Karen's fabulous
gorgeous?
bookshelves.
Look at her Ready Player One.
They're
Oh my
so
gosh.
amazing. And she's got the Funko Pops everywhere. Apparently she doesn't have quite the collection that you have.
I have a lot.
You do
I
have
have
a lot.
like over 80 of
Yeah.
them now.
And Jenny is also one of the Instagrammers that I did the Advent.
Yeah, I'm the
book
one who
swap.
gave her all those wonderful
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, you
Me
really
and Karen.
did. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
had so much
And we're doing
fun
it
with
again.
that. We're doing it again. It
And
was
we
so
may
fun.
pick up some books and get them signed so we can send them. We might.
We might try
You
to do
just
it
never know.
secretly.
Yeah.
If we can do that. It's so hard.
We'll see. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for now for me and you, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.